One of the most important things that my dad has taught me is if you continue to show up, good things will happen.
Mal represents what makes our community great, a great place to work, play, and live and raise a family.
He's quiet, he's reasoned, and he's energetic.
Mal is truly an amazing man. He recognizes potential in everyone around him.
I think it goes back to when he was growing up as a young child. Many people may not know, but he lived on a small farm in Coventry, Rhode Island, and very basic, and he didn't really have a lot growing up.
Honestly, I think it's his upbringing. He grew up poor, and with his success, as he's gotten more successful, he wants to give back that much more, because he knows what it's like.
He grew up with a lot of help from both the church and his own community. He didn't do it on his own. His family couldn't make it on their own. They had a lot of help, and he's had a lot of help all through his life. And so at this point, it's his turn to give back.
He is thoughtful and considerate in the true meaning of both of those words. He's patient.
He's probably more humbled with this award than any other person out there. He's that kind of man.
I would describe him as a man of quiet confidence and steadfast loyalty. Loyal to his family, loyal to his employees, loyal to the professional standards and ethics to which he is held now.
So I think what motivates Mal the most is the fact that he is able to give back to so many people in the community, and he's always been very quiet about it. He's never asked for anything in return.
I think my dad is deserving of this special recognition because he was never looking for recognition to begin with.
I think what strikes me about Mal, and it's been from afar, is that he's just so generous.
Of the 30 years I've spent on nonprofit boards, obviously I've met an awful lot of giving and caring people, but none more so than Mal.
Mal takes very seriously attaching his name and that of his firm to causes throughout the community.
My organization is the NEA Rhode Island Children's Fund. We've been around since 1985, and Mal was the first businessman to call and say, what a great idea, what a wonderful fund, and he was the first one to step up to the plate to offer his support to us, and has been ever since, 33 years later.
Mal is a huge supporter for Stand Up for Animals. Just contributes to our golf tournament as well as our bowl-a-thon, and we couldn't ask for a better contributor than Mal.
My dad is motivated in terms of giving back to nonprofits because when he was younger, it was the nonprofits that were there to support him when he needed it most.
Not only has Mal been a lead sponsor of our golf tournament for 11 years, he has done a stellar job managing our endowment.
He's one of the few people that don't turn the other way at McQuaid's when he sees my cart coming toward his cart, because he knows I'm going to hit him up for something.
We have a golf program for kids, especially for inner city kids, to make it affordable and accessible. And through Mal's very generous support over all these years, it's made it possible for us to provide golf programs that teach life lessons in golf for over 18,000 kids.
The amazing generosity reaches so many lives, and he may not know that impact, but that impact is so vast.
Well, for me personally, my wife and I have a developmentally disabled brother, ran a tournament for the benefit of the Orleans Center for 12 years, and he was the title sponsor most of the time.
What I've learned about Mal is probably one of the most generous, philanthropic, and civic-minded people I know. He's really, really, really involved in his community.
Mal Makin philosophy of community service is to give back to the community that has so generously supported our firm over the last 40 years.
You know, a lot of people benefit from, I think, his giving back, that he enjoys to see that impact.
His level of charity, it makes me a better person. It makes me want to strive to be a more charitable person.
I would kind of like to put in a little thing for both he and his wife, Martha. They both chose and then completely refurbished 2 lovely homes for Mal's business, the Professional Planners. What they did to those 2 homes, it's the Coy House on Grove Avenue and then the Champlin House at 9 Granite Street. They refurbished those houses to such a degree that they're ideal for the Grove Avenue was ideal and now the Granite Street, but they are ready to go for another 100 years as beautiful pieces of architecture in Westerly.
Mal went above and beyond in restoring that building. He spent a lot of time and money in restoring a building and is one of our focal points in our downtown area. And I'm very happy and proud that he was able to restore that marvelous piece of architecture in our community.
Got into primarily through the NEA, the National Education Association, helping teachers with their pension plans.
He developed a relationship with one of the HR people at Pfizer, and then started advising a lot of folks that retired or were let go from Pfizer.
His job is to help people, and he exudes that. And people pick up on it and understand it and feel it, and that's why he is as successful as he is.
We are truly a family. Everybody there works as a team, and I believe that's because Mal is at the helm.
I've known Mal a long time. In fact, I think I was his first accountant. During that time and during my entire professional and personal career, I've never met a person with more integrity.
The culture at PPG is one of giving back to the community. Each of the advisors and high-level staff are required to be part of something involved in the community, whether that's on an organizational board, as a committee member, or just giving back to the community in some way.
I think his deep sense of love for his fellow human being is what has really made him a success these many, many years.
It is an honor to work alongside someone who is so kind-hearted and generous.
So I met Mal several years ago when I started on the Reach Out to Youth campaign here at the Y, and I was fortunate to hear him speak at one of the kickoff breakfasts, and I was enamored by how much passion he had for his support of the Y and the kids and the opportunities that the Reach Out to Youth campaign brought.
The Y always is looking for community leaders, and especially if you can find a community leader who has a Y involvement. In Mal's case, he even had a Y employment experience. That said something about him.
Well, Mal is very athletic, and it probably reverts back to when he started working at the Y. That's where he started his career. The impact that he has had on individual participants, and not just young participants at the Y, but participants at all levels of YMCA activity, including members of the board.
So Mal originally came to the Y as a camp counselor when he was a kid. And the Y never left him, even as he became a successful businessman. He always felt it was important to give back and to stay involved. And that's exactly what he's done as a campaign chair and as a volunteer for the Y.
YMCA kind of embodies the whole feel of community service, community action, from toddlers to grandparents. You go upstairs right now, you go through all these rooms, there's something going on that adds to the quality of life in the community for every sector and generation.
So just look behind us. Because of Mal's generosity and leadership throughout our annual support and capital campaigns, he's provided the opportunity for so many individuals and families throughout our community to have access to the facility and to all the wonderful programs the Y has to offer.
He was a community leader, exactly the kind of person we wanted on the board. We've set record after record on this Y Cares program.
Mal is known for giving back to the community in many ways, whether it be through monetary donations, whether it be time, or just being a friend to many organizations, especially the YMCA.
Mal doesn't do anything halfway. And so when he became interested in golf, he really became interested in golf.
My father's hobby is golf. I'm not a golfer, but I've heard he's very good.
And I wouldn't say it's an addiction, but it's certainly a passion.
If you're ever in a conversation with Mal about golf, and he asks how old your golf clubs are, and they're more than, say, 5 or 10 years old, you probably don't want to share that with him because he seems to get very upset about things like that.
Surprisingly enough, Mal and I actually met on the golf course. And long ago, people told me that the best way to get to know an individual was to play around the golf with them. And 4 hours later, I was convinced that I had met somebody who was exceptionally nice, gracious, smart, but with a lot of common sense. And he had a good sense of humor too. He was just a really good guy.
Time and time again, I go to many outings and golf tournaments, and I look at the major sponsors or the top sponsors and whose name is at the top of the list. More times than not, Mal Makin.
Interestingly enough, Mal is one of the most competitive players I know. I've certainly learned a lot from Mal. Over the 23 years we've known each other, there's a student-teacher relationship. Sometimes I'm not exactly sure if I'm not the student a lot of the times.
And I've also been fortunate enough to play a little golf with Mal. And for those of you that know, Mal is a very accomplished golfer, and I always seem to have him as my partner, which is fortunate for me.
Mal, I've known you for a long, long time. I've loved playing golf with you and meeting your family and being involved in your life, and I hope we could continue it for many, many more years.
Mal, congratulations on the award. No one more deserving than you.
This honor is well deserved for you. You are truly an inspiring, generous, and warm-hearted individual.
I wish you the best of luck to you and your family, and God bless.
Mal, I hope you're having a great time tonight. You deserve it.
You have been an extraordinary leader at the Y. Thank you. You're awesome.
Congratulations, Mal. You deserve this.
Thank you, Mal, for everything that you've done for the town of Westerly.
Mal, congratulations. I can't think of anyone that deserves this more than you do, and I promise you that Linda and I will both upgrade our golf clubs this year.
Mal, you certainly deserve this award, and I am so happy for you.
You're a behind-the-scenes guy, but you get things done.
Mal, Citizen of the Year, outstanding.
I can't think of a more deserving person than yourself. And remember, Mal, just smile.
Thank you, Mal. Congratulations, and keep up the good work.
Congratulations, well deserved.
Mal, thank you for everything you've done for Pine Point School and all of the great organizations that make our community such a great place to live.
We can't thank you enough, Mal, for all these years of support.
We really appreciate all your great support over all these many years.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Mal. We love you.
Thank you, Dad, for all that you have done for me, for my family, and for the community. We really appreciate it.
Congratulations, Buck. Way to go.
Dad, you most definitely deserve this award.
I can never thank you enough. Thank you.